participating in this great event. I didn't officially then do as much as I should have, but I can honestly say I lost 5 pounds. And I just took the heavier belt off. That's really what I did. But this is great. I'm looking forward to it next year. I think it'll be bigger and better. And I think that for our town, to me, it's such a great statement about our town because we like to think that we're so cool and so many things. I think we really are. But this is another thing that we get involved in that makes us special. That makes it a great place to live. I run into people all the time, every day, asking me about one thing or another about our town. And I think it's we hear about the museum and the film festival and some of the bigger things. But I think this event and this kind of event is really what makes us special. And so I'm looking forward to continue, and congratulations to everybody who participated. And let's keep it up throughout the whole year. Thanks.
Thank you. I want to congratulate each one of you for your participation in this challenge. You made a 12-week commitment to eat better, exercise more, and adopt behaviors that will improve health. Maybe you've decreased the amount of sugar and carbs in your diet. Perhaps you have better portion control. Maybe you enjoyed one of the exercise programs offered through our business partners and have decided to continue with it. They'll be really happy about that. Hopefully some of those small or big changes you've made have become second nature at this point and are now a part of a healthier routine. I hope this challenge was successful in making you more aware of how your choices affect how you feel, more accountable to your personal health, and more understanding of how your body and mind wellness are interconnected. I hope you now have the tools you need for continued success in your lifelong journey towards better health. Just to go over stats real quick, we're going to get into prizes a little bit later. We had 121 people register for the challenge, and 44 of you made it through to the final weigh-in, which is about 36%. Not great. Pretty good.
Great for the ones who made it.
This is awesome. There was a total of 316 pounds lost over the 12 weeks, and an average of about 7 pounds per person. We averaged a 3% body fat decrease overall, with the largest decrease at 13%. There's scientific evidence that just a 5 to 10% reduction in body fat can lead to improvements in conditions such as cholesterol, hypertension and diabetes, sleep apnea and inflammation, and a general improvement in overall quality of health and self-esteem. So before we get into prizes, I'd like Greg Wally to come up. He's got some words of motivation, Bridge Athletics, and we'll have him speak to you and help motivate you to continue this.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hi guys. How are you tonight?
Great.
Good. Let me just grab something.
Grab it.
Grabbing. All right. So, hi. Whenever I make a little speech, I take a couple notes and I just write some stuff that I want to say. And one of the things I wrote first today, because it's raining, it's dreary, was smile. So the first thing I want you guys all to do is put your damn phones down, if anybody's on them. I noticed that everybody was on them. All right? That's not wellness. And stand up. Stand up real quick. Put your phone down. And stand up and smile. And notice the difference that it makes in your body.
You're fine.
Notice the difference in your body just by smiling, and just give the next person next to you a little hug or a little handshake or something. It's like church and hospital. That's good. In my opinion, that's part of wellness, is just noticing self-awareness where you are and giving yourself the opportunity to change the way you feel in an instant just by smiling, being kind to somebody. So it's not all about fitness, right? It's a full package, in my opinion. So the other notes I made was I want to entertain you tonight. I want to educate you and empower you. A couple of things. So you guys can sit down now. I don't want to have to stand the whole time. Later when we come up for the body of Christ. So questions for you, and then I got a couple little prizes and stuff because everybody likes free stuff. Who's currently working out? Raise your hand if you are. Cool. I can't give it to everybody, but these are really good bars. Can I throw it?
Yes.
All right, good. So keep your hands raised and see how long your shoulders will last. Who wants to work out? Keep your hands raised. And if you have it raised already, raise the other hand. And who should work out? Now it's talk. Everybody, right? Everybody should work out, for sure. So that's some pretty simple questions to think about, right? Everybody should be doing something, whatever it is. We're kind of, in my opinion, a little bit of a sedentary lifestyle. There's a lot of sitting, there's a lot of driving, there's a lot of texting, and not enough moving these days. So another couple questions that I had for everybody was, and if you answer, I got a couple hats for you, is in your lifetime, how many pairs of shoes have you had?
Well, my name is Imelda,
I don't
so
know.
take a guess. In my
In your
lifetime,
lifetime.
probably 1,000.
She gets both hats.
Snow hat. Great. Your name?
Rob.
Rob. How many cars have you had in your life? One? Lie.
I have 15.
You 15 cars. Same. I actually have an auto leasing company as well, so if you need a new car.
Your family sells shoes? Is that
Feet. And what's your name?
Heather.
Heather. How many homes have you had? Couple?
Two.
Two? All right. You want a t-shirt?
Yeah, sure.
Good. What's another question? Is there any other males here? What's your name? How many wives have you had? One.
Good
One of
answer.
the questions is, how many bodies have you guys all had?
One.
One, right? So, I have a gym, and it's one of the most rewarding businesses in the world, but one of the most difficult at the same time because we all have a bunch of crap in our life, but we get one choice to make this work, one choice. And for some reason, we find a million reasons not to make it work and not to find time to be healthier. This is a beautiful hospital. You want to stay out of it, right? We don't want to be in this hospital. So, that being said, I want to talk a little bit about what it is that my gym does. Strength training. Who knows what strength training means? What does it mean?
It's working out with weights.
Correct. With a load on your body. So has anybody watched the Olympics? Raise your hand if you've watched the Olympics. What's your favorite, Flory, what's your favorite event?
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics. Great. A lot of power in gymnastics. I love Olympic lifting, but I also love a lot of the skiing stuff and the Winter Olympics. How do you think those guys get good at what they do? Sprinters, gymnastics, how do you think they get powerful?
It's all core strengths.
Strength training. Strength training. They put weight on their body and they move through time and space in order to get healthy. Most of us aren't going to be sprinters anymore in the Olympics. Like, maybe I will, I'm not sure. But in order to stay healthy, the primary function to being strong is retaining your muscle over time. So I took a couple notes from some different places I like to read about strength training. There's 7 main things it does for you. Keeps weight off because your body density changes, so you have more muscle, less fat. There's 3 or 4 things in the body, right? Muscle, fat, bone. There's not much of it, right? Not much else. Some organs. So if your muscle depth increases, your fat will generally decrease. So keeps weight off. It protects bones and muscles. Why? It prevents against osteoporosis. So if your bone density decreases over time, you're more apt to fall down, break something, hurt a knee, hurt a hip. But if you're strong, if you retain your muscle over time, chances are nothing's going to get hurt. It increases your body mechanics. So a lot of times somebody will come into my gym and I'll ask them to do an air squat, which looks like this, and they can't get past here. That's not good, right? So having more muscularity increases your body mechanics. It's disease prevention is another thing. Boosts energy and cognition, so I think I'm thinking well, and I have decent energy. And more muscle overall, obviously. So those are 7 things that strength training is going to do for you. Who knows what this is?
It's a barbell.
This is a barbell, right? It's been around for 100+ years, the barbell. They've been using it in the Olympics since the beginning of time. And why do you think using a barbell is important? Because it puts weight over the center of your body. So not a lot of people are thinking about keeping themselves standing, balanced, but all day long, when you walk around, when you're doing things in life, you're trying not to fall over. Your body does it automatically. When you put a load on your back or somewhere else, you have to move through time and space and move that load efficiently. So recently I had somebody come into my gym that said, oh, I know how to squat, I've done this a long time. I said, okay, great. It was just him and I. I said, get under the barbell and squat. He picked up the barbell and fell over. Right? So I said, all right, Joe, let's start. So moving a barbell through space is going to increase muscularity over time, right? Is it hard? Yeah, it's generally harder. Most people, when they kind of feel like, okay, I need to get some fitness around me, they go for a run. It's great, running's great. It's very one-dimensional, and it's monostructural, right? So you're not ever breaking, you're not doing this in a run, it would be pretty slow, right? So you're not really moving your body through a range of motion that's efficient for the body to increase muscle mass. Do I think running should be part of a program? Yes, part of it. But strength training is huge, and it's very underlooked, unfortunately. So, any questions about strength training? Yeah, I used to practice law. I did not look like this when I practiced law. It looked very different. I was sitting at a desk, different body structure, different mindset. So I gave it up because it wasn't healthy. My gym is a small CrossFit gym in Montclair. There's 9 coaches. All of them have backgrounds in health and wellness. They have phys ed degrees. They have PhDs, CrossFit Level 1, NASM. And then there's 3 yoga instructors because it's a great component to strength training and staying mobile. And I'm looking to grow it. It's a great gym. I don't have a table, but if anybody wants a free membership, it's one or the other. It's a free month if you have experience, and if you don't have experience, it's a free fundamentals program, which takes you through, in a 4-week program, how to move this thing around properly and safely. What else?
There's a question in the back, Rick.
Yes?
Do you use your body to strengthen, or do you always have to use weight?
It's a good question. Body weight training definitely helps you strengthen your muscles. However, putting a load on the body is something that is going to make you see results considerably faster, and you're never going to get the type of muscularity you would from just doing body weight training. Also, being able to stabilize. So when you're in a squat, this is an overhead squat, right? Ask somebody to have a load over their head, like this, straight over the midline of their body, and hold it for a period of time. It's not generally happening, and there's no way to replicate those type of things with just body weight, like a TRX machine or push-ups. Is it great? Yeah, we work it all in. But being able to take a barbell, cut your body in half with that barbell and place a load on it, it just is kind of, the body was meant to work. Any other questions?
Do you have a
Yeah.
different regimen for women than you do for men?
No,
Really?
it's the same. Yeah. The only thing we change up is when we have pregnant women. We do things a little differently. We eliminate a couple of things. But no, the CrossFit, which is the type of gym I own, has dispelled a lot of male-female roles as well. You see women getting just as strong, if not stronger than men. I have women in my gym just smoking the guys in all the workouts. It's incredible. It's made them feel more powerful. It's made them feel stronger. It's given them a different place in athletics. It's exposed Olympic lifting to women in general. It brings tears to my eyes when I see some of these women working out in my gym that came from a bad relationship, never really knew anything about athletics before, and you see their confidence go from very timid to over mine, and mine is way too high. But yeah, it's great. And so, no, not really. Is the overall question, the overall answer. Anything else?
Can you speak a little more about your journey from being a lawyer to a CrossFit
Oh,
trainer? And what was the final push that made you make the transition?
That's a deep conversation.
30 seconds.
There's some sirens and lights involved in that. No, I lived in Miami. I did what I thought my folks would want. I went to law school. I was living in Miami. I had 3 years in law school, then I worked down there for 3 years. Right out of law school, I was making 6 figures. It was great, and 90% of it went to nightclubs and going out. And I used to play college sports, soccer, lacrosse, at a relatively high level. And then I just looked at myself one day, I was in a crap relationship, and I was like, what is going on? And so I went to a gym, like anybody else would do. Gyms are generally based on non-compliance. There's not enough space in typical gyms to house all the people that sign up. And nobody is going to dismiss $19.99 on their credit card. They're like, oh, next month, oh, next. It's a non-compliance method. So I did that. I never used it. And then I found a CrossFit gym in Fairfield where I grew up. And the coaches were great. I had a great experience. My body started changing. And that was it. Yeah. So the other day, there was 2 people in my gym, a new person and somebody who's been doing this for 4 years. And she was complimenting this other, it was 2 females, she was complimenting her, how do you look like that? And there was one general word that came to mind that the woman said to the new person. She said, it's all about consistency. So that change for me was 5.5 years ago, and I never looked back. So it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. You have to find time to put it into your life. You have to make time to put it in your life, not find time.
Where would you say the balance between cardio and weight should
Yeah.
be? Because I've read very different things.
I hear you, for sure. I'm running a 10K this weekend, and I haven't run in, like, probably for the Cherry Blossom. I haven't run in probably 6 months. But the workouts that I write, because one other coach and myself, we program for 3 months at a time. We program 3 months, every quarter we program. It always involves cardio. Not anything typically over 2 miles, but it involves cardio. So the balance for me with strength training and cardio, for me personally, it's like a 70-30 split for me. However, once you become more familiar how to move this little guy, and this is a light one. Most of them, they come in 15-pound weights, 35-pound weights, 45-pound weights, and then there's bigger ones. Once you learn how to cycle this, cycling it is moving it through space quickly. Once you learn how to do that and you put it into a workout, the workouts are very hard. Yeah, they're all at that threshold where you're at like 90%. Your heart rate's high. Yeah. Medicine in our bodies is blood, and these workouts, it's impressive what they do. They're very well created. It's like an art, creating these workouts. And they're never the same. Every single day is different. There's some certain tests that we do all the time that'll come up here and there. That'll be the same as 3 months prior, but it's every day is typically a different workout.
So how many times a week or how many minutes of a workout do you recommend?
That's a great question. When people first sign up, 3 days a week is a great amount of time. And that's really just 3 hours. Our class, you're in and out the door in an hour. And whatever time it takes for you to chit chat afterwards and get there, so that's all part. I learned a long time ago that not making my calendar too packed was something important to do, so I always leave buffers between things. Somebody I was talking to recently said she cuts the day into 4 quarters and tries not to put more than one thing in each quarter of the day. That's probably hard for some of us, but I understand where she's coming from. So if you're working out 3 days a week, that 1 hour, that should be one thing that you're dedicating to like that quarter of the day. You got to get there, you got to do your stuff, you got to have a little shake or some type of nutrition afterwards. That's something on one of your 7 days, one of your 3 days of working out, you should dedicate a couple hours to. So, question answered, if you're going to do 3 days a week, maybe you're dedicating 6 hours a week to it, which is nothing, More, you spend more time watching Gossip Girl. I don't know. I haven't had a TV in 3 years either, so I don't even know shows. I work out like a maniac.
No.
I couldn't go without it, unfortunately.
We do for the other half, like the dieting portion.
Yeah, dieting's huge. I found that the most important thing for me actually was sleep above everything else. I'm a very different person when I get a good 7-8 hours. Very different person. I got a good amount of sleep last night. Nutrition is like next in line, and then sport and athletics, running, and the strength training and everything. Nutrition's huge. So you've heard of the paleo version, paleo diet. It's, you know, a certain type of diet. I stick to that generally, but every coach we have and the yoga instructors all have a good nutrition foundation. Some of them are certified, some are not. But I could speak to food. I've probably received about 9 texts while I was standing here, and it's probably about what the workout is tomorrow and what type of food people need to eat. So I'm kind of accessible to everybody, which gets stressful, but it's the way I want to grow the gym. I want them to be able to access me all the time. So I act as their liaison as they're kind of going, have questions about diet and stuff like that, when to eat, what to eat, better alternatives. It's about small changes. Diets, it's about lifestyle. If you go on a diet, that begins and ends. If you change your lifestyle and you decide, okay, this is a better way to eat, and you make small changes over time, it's more apt to stick. So I had one girl I was working with, one really nice young lady. By the time she was done, she was off her antidepressants, but her first small change was eliminating cream from her coffee and sugar. That was like the first change. She was like, I'm gonna go on this diet. I'm like, no. Let's talk about like little things in your diet, write it down, let's change little things, and over time it stuck. And then 1.5 years later, she was off so often, which is huge. Yeah.
What are your prices in?
$1 billion.
Okay.
When you work with a trainer, it's $75 an hour. When you do a unlimited monthly package, most CrossFit gyms are all the same. They're in between 160 and 180. I'm 180 because it's Montclair and we're fancy. And there's health professional, medical, police rates, and there's teacher rates. That's, I think we give 10 or 15% off. I forget. I have somebody who helps me with everything. And then there's also a punch card. So you could buy a certain amount of visits just to make sure you like the place, and it gives you a visit. You can come check in, and that lasts for 6 months. It's 10 visits for 6 months, and it expires after 6 months. And I think that's $180 for 10 visits. So it's like $18 a class. Generally, a yoga class in this general area is like anywhere between $20 and $25. It's kind of the standard. Yeah. I still have my first CrossFit membership from my old gym because they taught me so much that I would rather them have that $1,800 a year than some other crap that I would spend it on.
What are your hours? Are you open during the day or like right through?
Yeah, so my goal is to grow the gym. It's in a small space right now that there's morning classes and night classes, and then sometimes I'm there in the middle of the day. So there's early AM classes, and then there's a 9:30 AM class, and then there's PM classes. Weekends we're open in the morning. My goal is to move it to a larger space eventually, so it'll just be open all day. So once a person knows what they're doing, they could come in and get a workout at midday if they want to just do it by themselves. Now, if they want that, and I like them, they just text me, and I'll go open the door for them. If I know that they have a plan, you know. Because we've all done this when I didn't know what I was doing. I walked into like Retro Fitness, and I was like, text 2 people, go get a smoothie and leave. So if you do that in CrossFit, if you unlock the door for somebody and they're in there, like, you know, they gotta have a plan if I'm not gonna stick around and be safe. Questions? Want to see me walking my hands?
Apparently that's what you'd like to show us. So is this something that's really about a sculpted, lean body as opposed to someone who is looking to gain size?
That's a question I get a lot, and it's really, your body's going to do one thing, right? Like everybody, you hear the word tone, this, that. When you have a better diet, less sugar, and you're strength training, your muscle is going to increase and your fat is going to decrease. Like, I didn't have an idea of what I was going to look like. If I showed you an old picture of me in law school to now, you'd be, holy shit. I didn't know what this would end up looking like, but CrossFit does a really good job of using the strength training and all those types of workouts in order to shape a really nice body. If people want to get a lot bigger and a lot stronger, it's a lot more strength training. They're squatting a lot, they're benching a lot, they're doing a lot more stuff with this. Our blend is more, it's going to give you this overall, you know, kind of, I guess I look okay, look lean. It's gonna look something like this with a decent diet. You know, this was like 3 or 4 years of adaptation.
So if the goal is mass, CrossFit isn't necessarily the place for someone who
More
wants
strength
mass.
training, probably. Yeah, yeah. If you're looking to get, you know, a really jacked and huge, probably a lot more strength training and a lot more calories. A lot more calories. More protein.
Oh, I know, I lived with someone.
Yeah, with the bodybuilder? Yeah, bodybuilding is very different.
I will tell you what my grocery bill is like.
Yeah, bodybuilding's a little different. Yeah, a lot more calories. Yeah, and a lot more strength training. Yeah. What else?
Can you offer some menopausal class?
Cook some what?
Menopausal class?
Isn't that like,
I don't know. I don't know if I can do that.
this is, here, wanna try?
How much is that?
It's nothing.
How many pounds is it?
This is 15 pounds. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So you wanna look like this, right? Squat width, straight up and down.
Getting up.
Come on,
I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try
Let's
to
go.
keep on wrong.
So put your back to me.
Forward.
Just put this bar right on your back, center your mid. You're gonna grab it nice and tight. Now, good. That's a good squat width. Now slowly just squat. Not bad. So she looks pretty good. She's a little pronated. She's leaning a little forward. It's probably overactive in her spinal erectors. Yeah. One more time.
Better than I could do right
Not bad.
No?
Yeah. So she's got a little lower eventually. Maybe some strength in the lower back, core muscles. Yeah.
That's what I want to work
But that's it.
All right, all right.
Thank you, Greg.
That's it. So if anybody wants that membership, fundamentals, you can put the raffle tickets in here. I'll put this one up here.
I mean, I could do that 5, but
That's it.
that's really
Thank
not
you.
my number 20.
What's the name of
Anybody
this gym?
want one more?